My people wonder they say shall never end. From the information we are gathering, oh, they said one flave that Ebony calls a cousin. They say he have been arrested over the kind of threatening message that he sent to the queen. You know that the king, from what we heard, allegedly, don't forget that these are all alleged information. They said the king have told Ebony's family that the only condition she will remain a wife to him is if she returns back to the UK and comes to the palace only when he allowed that. That unless that happens, that the moment she enters there without the king's permission, that might be the end of the marriage. That the king will not mind throwing her out of that marriage. So when this happened, they said the family have been begging, Ebony too have been begging, But it's looking like the king is not listening to their beg. After all, they have begged and never changed. So due to this, they said one of her cousins, who is I think they say is a student at 40, a fool at 40. They say this guy, that he is like a liability to the family because at his age, he have not achieved anything. At his age, he's not married. The school that they have sent him, he's not even planning to graduate. Everything about him is bad news. So this is the kind of person they said that have sent a message to the Jewel, telling her that if Ebony is thrown out of this marriage because of her, that she, as in the Jewel, will look for her son and will not see. That is a promise, that it is not a threat, that he is going to let her know the kind of family that he is coming from. So they said the queen was a kind of surprise when she received that message. But what would she do? The only thing she did was to send the message to the husband, that is the king, to let him know what is happening, because the baby in question that they are threatening is the king's son. So imagine making such a threat without knowing that or remembering that the king will skin him alive if anything happens to that boy and all of that. And that is how they said when the king make investigation and find out that true, he is the one that sent that message. Because at first the queen did not know where the message is coming from. But they said she sent the message to the king. And from there, the king started making inquiries. Upon knowing that it is coming from this Efulefu, from the family where Ebony is coming from, they said the king ordered for his arrest. And not only that, he was forced to sign an undertaking that if anything, even if it is scratch, happens to the queen or her son, that the king will come for her and her family. They said it was serious buzzbuzz. It was a serious wahala. Then, the thing is that it is obvious that from the look of things, that if this information is true, it simply means that all of them in that palace, in that their ruling house, they have problem and they need help. They only think about themselves and all of that. You see, if Ebony have respect for the king, I think it will cost her nothing to return back to her base. Maybe with time, there is a way to go about this. Assuming she leaves the palace now and stay like some months. The moment she leaves and the king is no longer seeing her, it will make the king to kind of forget about some of those things that she have committed, and his anger will calm down. And from there, maybe after a few months, she might start sending messages begging the king and all of that. And I believe that if she does that, that the king will forgive her and allow her come back to the palace the way she used to. But due to her level of stubbornness and you don't have the right to control me, because that is what it is looking like, she will still be in that palace just to provoke the king the more. And at the end of the day, her family will come and beg on her behalf telling the king that no, she's a woman, she's only trying to secure her position. It is love. It is the kind of love that she have for you. That is why she's doing all of this. She's not doing it to pepper anybody and all of that. That is how it is going to end. But at the end of the day, they should know that that kind of marriage, it is still their daughter that will suffer it, because there is no love. No love of any type. So, like I said, Ebony thinks that, or their family thinks that they are favoring their daughter, but they don't know that they are putting her in that space where the king will have to show love and attention to others, putting her by the side. And you know that the kind of person that she is, she always wants to be the person that the king will always love, recognize, place at a high esteem, and all of that. But at the end of the day, with this her character, time will come when she will worth nothing in the presence of both the king and everyone in that palace. You know, maybe because of the fact that she believed that, for the fact that she's coming from the royal house that she is coming from, that they will be there for her, they will stand in for her, and all of that. And as for the cousin, they said this cousin is a useless cousin. Because if you see the way they describe the cousin, you know that this is the kind of person that sometimes when they look at him, they will say, oh, so if we are asked now, we'll say we have a son. That kind of thing. This life no balance, so this life no balance. But the only thing I do know is that no matter what they plan against the jewel and her son, everything they plan will surely go back to the sender. Because you cannot tell me they have not been doing, they have not been planning and executing. But at the end of the day, they keep failing. And that is how they are going to continue to fail. Because the glory and the almighty hand of God is upon the queen and her son. And that is how it is going to continue. At the end of the day, they will still regret ever cutting her or threatening her, because God will always be by her side. And to show you that they don't have sense, they want to also threaten the son, as in threatening her with the son, knowing fully well that the king will go overboard to deal with anyone who tries any nonsense with the boy, you know. So when I hear this, I say, oh, so be like say all the people from this family, they no get sense. Their level of thinking or their IQ is somehow low and all of that. Anyway, my people, oh, that is what we are hearing if the information is true. I want to remind you that these are all alleged, unverified information making rounds on social media. So they said the king got him arrested and made him to sign an undertaking that if anything should happen to the jewel or her son, that they will be held responsible. Not only him, but his entire family. Allegedly. Oh. Thanks for watching. Please do well to give this video a thumbs up and share. I love you. Don't forget to subscribe, okay? Bye for now.